Bloodborne and other Souls-like games, loved by so many people around the world, and coincidentally most of these people also enjoy using cheese graters on their groins. But I just call that a coincidence.
Is Bloodborne Remastered finally happening? Guys, it's gonna happen for sure this time. For sure.
When it comes to Bloodborne and rumors surrounding a potential Bloodborne remake, remaster, or sequel, it feels like every other week there's a new rumor or new potential leak that turns out to be completely false. And it's like clockwork where Bloodborne starts trending on Twitter, and fans get excited once again only to have their hopes crushed, to realize that all the hype was completely false and unfounded. And admittedly, I am someone who has fallen for these leaks in the past.
Are you telling me Bloodborne is essentially the same as GTA 6?
Yes.
I was too. The like the day that Elon bought Twitter and like there was that whole verified account problem, somebody changed their account to like From Software, and they posted some bullshit about how Bloodborne was going on PC and it was coming out like at the end of the month, and I was like and then like I didn't even find out that it was fake. I was going to go live and talk about it. I was unironically a fake news victim.
I've made several videos talking about the Bloodborne situation and why I can't wrap my head around why we don't have a Bloodborne remake yet. But for about the past year, ever since Elden Ring's release,
it's free money actually.
Bloodborne, and I've tuned out any of the rumors going on in the gaming sphere.
Maybe they're gonna remake it. I don't know. I think that there's a chance they could remake it. I think, this is my opinion, I think that the Demon Souls remake was really fucking good, man. I thought it was incredible. So
there is also a chance that the remake is not happening because they're actively making next Bloodborne. It could happen, because that's the only real reason why you wouldn't release a remake, because you don't want it to compete with the next game in the series.
Oh, yeah, I mean, maybe that's what they're gonna do. Maybe it's gonna be a remake.
Hope for a new one.
We find ourselves here once again with some new rumors that have a little bit of credibility to them, and some major PlayStation news that makes it look like this might be a chance to get our hopes up. But I want to present all the facts to you and break it down as technically as possible so that we have a clear picture of what's going on here and can give a proper verdict on how likely it is to be true. But as we get into all that today, I do want to remind you guys that since the channel is getting so close to 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a copy of From Software's next game, Armored Core 6, once we hit that goal.
I'm so
and all you gotta do to enter
this.
is number 1, be subscribed to the channel, number 2, leave a like on the video, and number 3, leave a comment in the comment section down below. But with all that, let's go ahead and get into this discussion about Bloodborne. Just a few minutes ago, PlayStation announced that they were going to have a new massive showcase happening in about a week. Now that'll be shown on May. I'm
gonna be real, I never noticed that these guys at the beginning actually were holding the weapons. This is the first time I've ever seen that and actually noticed it. I had no idea.
We're going to have a new massive showcase.
There's a lot of small details.
Now that'll be shown on May 24th and is going to be one of their biggest showcases they've had in a long time. And here are the details on that. The PlayStation blog post reads, "It's almost time to see what's next. PlayStation Showcase broadcast live next Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m.
We will
British
definitely
time.
watch
The show will run for a bit over an hour, focusing on PS5 and PSVR 2 games in development from top studios from around the world. Expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games from our third-party partners and indie creators. The live broadcast starts next Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. British Time on YouTube and Twitch.
What the hell is British time?
It's actually weird to me that they haven't done a Bloodborne PC port. It doesn't really make sense.
Nothing makes sense about this, honestly.
I actually don't know why it hasn't happened.
Just made a video breaking down the possibility about this showcase and other showcases where we might see new From Software information, because this PlayStation showcase was leaked a little bit ago, and according to insiders is going to be a big deal. Now, what completely slipped my mind at the time, because I was focusing talking on Armored Core or Elden Ring mainly, but I had completely forgotten to mention the possibility of the rumored Bloodborne remake. And so I wagered that even if the showcase did get announced, it probably wouldn't be worth watching as a From Software fan, since Summer Games Fest is right around the corner. And that's a show that's much more likely to have what we're looking for. But now we find ourselves in a different place from when I made that.
I don't know. I feel like with a lot of these different shows nowadays, a lot of the big announcements, I feel like they're probably going to get saved for like the developer live streams themselves, because gone are the days of E3 and these other really big platforms for game developers to show their games. Now that anybody can just go and do a live stream. You know,
I'm so happy that happened because it was annoying. Oh, wait until E3 for all the announcements. Bruh, if you have something to announce, just announce it. We live in the age of the internet. Most places that matter have internet. And those places that don't have internet, well, they can't afford the game. They have bigger problems on their plate, you know? Well, they don't have anything on their plate, but you get the idea.
No, yeah, look at E3, for example. Like, BlizzCon is like the OG of that. Summer Games is the new E3.
BlizzCon
it is the new
sucks.
E3. But, like, are we really going to pretend? Like, look at, like, the Nintendo Directs. Look at the Sony State of Play. I think Xbox did something like that, too, but I know Sony and Nintendo did it. A lot of studios, Ubisoft Forward, I think that's what it was called. A lot of studios are opting to just do their own events.
Yes, thank God.
Video, since the Bloodborne discussion has been reignited thanks to a new rumor that kind of blew up. And this rumor comes from David Jaffe, the original creator of God of War. Now, here's the thing we kind of got to keep in mind when talking about this.
So this
David
is the guy
Jaffe
whose
used
fault
to
it
hold
is.
a very prominent involvement with PlayStation, but he doesn't have all the connections that he used to. As we know, God of War has switched hands for a while, now under the guidance of Cory Barlog, with Jaffe no longer working at PlayStation.
All right.
And we'll break this down more in a minute.
No
But the
idea
rumor
what that
originated
means.
last week when during one of his live streams, David Jaffe talked about how Bloodborne was supposed to be getting a remaster, and an announcement would be coming pretty soon.
Huge. Bloodborne is coming
Wow.
to PC and PS5 and is set to be revealed at the next PlayStation showcase. Yeah. Yeah, man. Man, for sure, guys.
4 million
And
views.
the tweet
Wow.
from this got over 4 million views. Since it was coming right
I do feel I feel like there's a good chance this could happen. Because like PlayStation, I mean, fuck, I mean, I like they want to have new games that they can sell to
True.
get people to buy a PS5. So yeah.
What does PlayStation actually even have currently? I'm not even sure. Is Xbox just absolutely like them, you know? Is that happening?
off the heels of the leak about the PlayStation Showcase. However, after this news blew up, David Jaffe posted another video attempting to clarify exactly what he said, since this was apparently taken out of context. So go ahead and give this a listen.
Hey, fellas, real quick.
Okay. Now here's the reality check.
This Bloodborne thing.
Look.
Please.
Please.
Seeing people on Twitter. It drives me batshit. I don't have insider knowledge. I don't put any value on. I know something you don't. All I said was, and it's not like I'm breaking some big story. Everybody's been talking about the Bloodborne thing.
Bloodborne fans, Dark Soul fans, Demon Soul fans, Somewhere Lost in the Ocean fans. These people are nuts. They are just, you know, they just want something new. And man, I understand them technically. Look at Vidya and his lore breakdown series of Dark Souls. A new game gets published and that guy has 20 years more of content for his YouTube channel.
The remaster.
Everyone wants a piece.
For a long time. And all I said was, I know a reporter, she told me that she's like, it, and I never said it was going to be at the show, even if there is a show this summer, which I think there is, but I don't know. But that was never what I said. All I said was, she said that, hey, no, it's happening. It's a real thing. And we should be seeing a reveal sooner than later. That was it. I loved Bloodborne. One of my favorite.
So somebody told them this.
Yep.
Well, then, I mean, that settles it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's true,
I mean,
probably.
there you go. I mean, they wouldn't have told him that if it wasn't true.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
If your janitor's husband's secretary's triple divorced ex-boyfriend's stepsister's wife tells someone something, it's probably true. Yep.
I mean, we might as well just start planning now.
True.
games. I rarely finish games and finish that one.
So as you can see, after this started getting some traction to it, he made sure to clear the air, saying that he doesn't have actual insider knowledge about it, and that what actually happened was that a reporter asked him if he was going to be playing the Bloodborne remake that was going to be getting announced soon. Now, how true is that? We have no idea. And I'm not gonna lie, the way his face looked when he was saying that makes me feel like he's lying a little bit, but I have no idea. But like he does...
It's really hard to say whether he was lying or not, but what I will say is that I think that it's not a matter of if, but when. It's obvious that they're going to do a Bloodborne remake, a remaster, or something.
Everything's a matter of when, honestly. If time is infinite, everything will happen sooner or later. In a billion trillion light years there exists an Earth, and people are playing the remake version of Bloodborne, and you know it's true.
And it's just like, look at it from Sony's perspective, okay? Even if it's only PS5 exclusive, how many of you guys would buy a PS5 or would be much more likely to buy a PS5
Hell
if
no.
you could play Bloodborne at like, 60 FPS on it?
You can't see the chat, but people are saying no.
I think a lot of people would.
No. Buying a PS2, jeez,
the
no.
rumor that a Bloodborne remaster / remake is coming has been circulating with PlayStation insiders for a long time now.
And this is assuming, by the way, that it's only on PS5.
Still no.
Is very similar to the Colin Moriarty leak of last.
Everyone in the chat, I am in front of the chat, but man, everyone's just saying no.
Last year, where a very reputable PlayStation insider stated that he was told that Bluepoint Games, the company that made the Demon's Souls remake, was taking a trip down Yharnam. However, a few months after that came out, he stated that he no longer trusted the source that told him that, and that the information was likely faulty.
Good source.
That's kind of how every single one of these rumors goes. Some PlayStation insiders will say that a Bloodborne remake is getting made, and then come out shortly after and say that they don't actually know if it's happening or not. So
yeah, you say the first thing to get a lot of attention, and then afterwards you're like, well guys, I don't really know, I just made that up.
No, you downplay
guys, it's coming out! Wait, when? Oh, I don't know, I just made it up.
You downplay it. No, you downplay it.
Two possibilities here. Number one, everybody's just lying and trying to start false rumors for clout, and the people that are leaking this information either don't have very much or are getting it third hand as well. But let me paint you the picture here and tell you the facts of what we do know. We know for a fact, thanks to Omnipotent, the most credible From Software leaker, that FromSoft themselves are not working on anything Bloodborne related. We also know that Bloodborne as an IP belongs to Sony, and it's their decision to do with it what they want. So if a Bloodborne remake
Which is why I think they're gonna do it, is because I think that Bloodborne remake would sell PS5s. I'll tell you this, there are 2 games that I would buy a PS5 for right now.
I honestly think it would just piss more people off, because I don't think people are willing to buy a PS5 just for, Bloodborne. I really don't think that.
I'm not a big God of War fan. It's not that I don't like the game, it's that I've never had the opportunity to like the game. I played the first God of War and maybe a little bit of the second one, and that's it. So there's 2 games. You're already saying one in chat, Final Fantasy 16. The other one is Demon's Souls Remake. Obviously, I love Dark Souls games, love the From Software games. That's why I bought the PC. Like, I didn't buy an Xbox, I bought a Halo machine, which was upgraded in 2005, was it 5 or 6, to a Gears of War machine as well, a Halo and Gears of War machine. But that's about it.
Actually happening,
right.
It would likely be outsourced to another studio entirely, the same way the Demon's Souls remake was. We also know that about a year ago, PlayStation actually acquired Bluepoint Studios and have them working on unannounced projects at the moment. And this is almost exactly...
Yeah, I mean, I think that honestly, after watching, like, the Bluepoint remake of Demon's Souls completely changed my outlook on what a remake could be.
Huh. Interesting.
It was such an incredibly good game. I was astonished at how good it was. I know there's some people that were, questionable about it, but as somebody, I never played the original one, right? So it's hard for me to compare, but like, it was fucking flawless, man. Like, I thought it was incredible. I replayed it like 7 times.
What if the original was also flawless? You wouldn't know that if you didn't play the original.
looks better than any From Software game? Yeah, it does. So yeah, I mean, I would only buy a PS5 for Demon's Souls Remake or for Final Fantasy 16. And like, honestly, the only reason I do it for Final Fantasy 16 is because I don't want to wait until it's a streaming reason, right? I want to stream it on release. If I wasn't a streamer, I would just wait and then play it on PC when it comes out on PC at the end of the year.
Everything is better on PC. Let's be absolutely real here. If you use a console, it's either you have a life, which is doubtful, honestly, or, alternatively... Wait, is there an alternative? No, there actually is... No, you're an idiot. Yes, that's right. If you're not using a port... Wait, what does PC stand for? Anyway, PC, good. PlayStation, bad. Xbox, worse. Well, not worse, but bad. Anyway, you get the point. You should play everything on the PC, because PC Master Race exists for a reason.
But, like, Bloodborne would be another game that I would buy a PS5 to play. The only problem, though, is, like, Bloodborne doesn't need a remake, needs a PC release. Just imagine the mods. I don't know. I mean, I do feel like a lot of the graphics in Bloodborne aren't super great.
I mean, it's an old game, so
I feel
yeah.
like they're so stylized and they're incredible. But, like, if you really look at them, I don't think they're that great.
I mean, you can look at here. Look at this. This is like a straight out 2D graphics from, Freddy the Fish right here, okay? This is not exactly a lot better.
I will tell you this, though. If they didn't do a remake and they just did a remaster and they said PC, I would be super happy. I don't care that much about a remake, and, like, we're just talking about a remake for just, like, whatever reason. I just want to be able to play it on PC, and I want to be able to play it at a higher FPS. Whether that's better graphics or not is just... That's not the top of my priority list. But I do think that if they remastered Bloodborne to have the same color depth as Demon's Souls, this game would look fucking incredible. Like, I all the time love seeing the artwork that people do of, like, Bloodborne on Twitter, and some of it is just absolutely astonishing. And the game doesn't even look that good. I wish it did.
I mean, yeah, of course the artwork is gonna look good and whatnot. Well, what do you honestly expect there?
What I said the last time we talked about this Bloodborne situation as a whole. From the outside looking in, the landscape is perfect for PlayStation to drop a Bloodborne remake, which is why these rumors get so much traction, and it seems like a very likely thing to happen.
I also want to say, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but one of my main negatives about Bloodborne, besides like 30 FPS shit, is I really don't like how... I think that the colors are too samey. Like, it doesn't...
He has a point.
Doesn't have the same, like, variety that other games have.
Well, if you're being extremely, extremely honest, most Souls games don't actually have a color variety. You know, every zone is honestly just a single, well, 3 colors. Let's be honest here. But you know, it's just a couple of colors, and the zone never changes. The moment you switch a zone, yeah, maybe it's from dark to greenish, or from dark to brown darkish, you know? That's the only color variety through the whole Souls-like game series.
And what we might also want to consider is that all these rumors happening from these sources that do have credibility to lose if reporting something false, is that there is a good chance that people do know something, and the people that are actually leaking this are just doing a bad job at it, or keeping it pretty tightly under wraps. But as far as official information goes, there's almost none. Now, a little while ago, PlayStation did actually tweet out a pretty blurry picture of Bloodborne and said, "Guess the game." However, they quickly deleted it after getting torn apart by the fans, saying, "Don't post this if you don't have anything to show," which seemed to indicate by them deleting it that they didn't. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about this.
I think, yeah, that's probably true. I mean, again, it could also just be like the social media manager thought he'd do a funny. It's hard to say.
Most social media managers nowadays are just the equivalent of absolutely uncontested pure cancer, okay? What do we have that's good? Like, the Wendy's Twitter account is good. And they probably fired that guy who did it for being... Well, actually, it's a social media account, so it was probably run by a woman. So, they fired her for being too spicy, most likely.
Not putting that much stock in the rumor. However, I am going to be watching the PlayStation Showcase. I do think that the rumor popping up right before the showcase happened is a little bit fishy, so I think that while there is a chance that we do see something Bloodborne related here, I'm not going to be disappointed if we don't. We have a fantastic year ahead of us as From Software fans with both Armored Core 6
true.
and Elden Ring DLC on the horizon.
And also, like, we're getting a lot of the mods that began whenever Elden Ring first came out. We're having a lot of the mods for Elden Ring actually finish development now, which is really fucking awesome. Which is, like, that's not the same as a new actual game, but, like...
Dude, imagine everything being replaced with Thomas the Tank Engine. Now we're talking actually the big stuff. Now we're talking the good res. Oh, boy. Elden Ring. No, Thomas the Tank Engine Rail Ring. Now that is the life I want to live.
Like, it's the next best thing.
So a Bloodborne remake coming out right now would honestly be a little overwhelming. But hey, if it happens, I will be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Either way though, I just wanted to make this video really quickly to inform you guys about everything that's going on. It has been a while since we talked about Bloodborne, and I wanted to kind of levy expectations with this big news about the PlayStation Showcase. But either way, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like on and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all
like the video
software.
and subscribe. Remember that,
in the comment section below, and with all that, I will catch you in the next one.
Man, dude.
Go on.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Please, let's fucking have Bloodborne come out. That would be amazing. Convergence mod's so good. Yeah. Shadow of the Erd Tree's coming out. Y'all are talking about Bloodborne too. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't care. I don't think Bloodborne needs a Bloodborne 2. I think Bloodborne 2, the story is a complete... Like, it's a cyclical story in the same way. If you do the true ending, it's a cyclical.
Oh, actually, yeah. The story is technically fully complete. Well, there's probably still an easy way to fit in a Bloodborne 2 somehow, but the story is technically 100% complete, huh?
Excuse me. Story in the same way that, like, you fight yourself in Dark Souls 3 as the Soul of Cinder, right? Like, I understand that you can make this exact same argument for Dark Souls, but personally, I think that, like, with how many, like, main characters there were in Bloodborne and how foundational the Great Ones and, like, contacting them was, I don't think that Bloodborne needs a part 2. I think it is great just being what it...
The good part is they can easily make Bloodborne 2. Well, it wouldn't technically be Bloodborne 2, I guess, because it wouldn't be a sequel. But they can pretty much almost fit anything in between as they want, you know? Before the fall, before the blood, you know, when the blood first takes hold, something like that. There are so many options. You don't need to make a sequel. You can make a prequel, you can make something in between. Hell, you can make a role-playing, you know, hentai simulator from Bloodborne. It probably would work and sell. You know, there's options. There's countless options for this stuff.
It is. Same as Sekiro. I mean, again, you can say Sekiro, right? There was, like, that secret ending with, like, him talking to the kid. And, like, there is a place where they could do more.
Yep.
But with Bloodborne, I really don't think you need a part 2 for it.
Well, I think that's pretty interesting. There are so many options. Again, we will just have to wait and see, as always. Never trust the rumors, so that's pretty much it.